we'll start to kick things off. And of course, his slimy thing there is for the reap part of the soundtrack.
It's like, what is that?
A little bit of fun Halloween addition to it.
Alright. Captain Floppy and his crew were relaxing inside the inn, enjoying a quiet evening. They had been at work on the ship all day and were enjoying a well-deserved break. All seemed normal until suddenly Margie burst into the inn, out of breath and shouting.
Go ahead, Mira.
Oh, Floppy! The Inquest kidnapped Pula and Paddle!
What? When? Tell me everything that happened.
Margie took a moment to catch her breath and quickly explained everything. The entire trip into the woods, the wolf spirit, the demon eyes, and the sudden appearance of the Inquest.
Inquest? Here? How very strange. What could they possibly want with two Quaggans?
They mentioned some device and mist energy.
User disconnected from your channel.
Device? Mist energy? This only raises more questions, but this means they have a lab nearby. We just need to find it. I have some equipment on the ship, but we need to get to work right away.
Meanwhile, inside the Inquest lab, Pula and Paddle were awakening from their teleportation and found themselves trapped in separate holding cells.
Pula, are you okay?
Where are we?
Ooh, an Inquest lab. This is really bad. We need to escape, quick.
The two Quaggan searched all around their cells for an exit, but it was no use. Before they could come up with a plan, the Inquest leader entered the room with his two bodyguards. The Inquest leader approached Pula's cell and peered inside with a sinister smile, taking a great interest in the Quaggan inside.
Ah, excellent. I can feel the mist energy in this one. She'll be perfect. Take her from her cell and prepare the device. Leave the other.
Second part.
You, my dear Quaggan, are my ticket into history.
Pula's cell door was opened and two Inquest guards took Pula toward the chamber's exit. Paddle called out to her friend but could only watch as Pula was escorted away. Her journey towards an uncertain fate had begun. The Inquest base was massive, with large, winding hallways covered in lights, monitors, and language that Pula couldn't understand. They walked for what felt like miles to poor Pula, passing golems and scientists working on various nefarious projects. Eventually, they reached the main laboratory. It was then that Pula was startled by a loud banging. Pula jumped and looked all around before noticing a large window off to her side. Pula looked in horror to see one of Scarlet Briar's twisted watchwork abominations that had been modified by nefarious Inquest technology into being even more deadly than the original. It clanked and slammed against its prison walls, all while releasing a horrifying screech.
Oh, I see you've noticed Subject Omega. Powerful and astonishing, isn't it? Would you believe it is actually self-aware?
Quaggan doesn't like that thing. Not one bit.
Subject Omega is my finest weapon. If only she wasn't completely uncontrollable. However, all of that will change once we discover how to harness your mist energy, which leads to my truly greatest achievement.
The main lab's door turned and clanked slowly opening to reveal a modified version of Omad's machine, glowing and humming with a strange mist energy.
Quaggan is where you will meet your destiny, and I will succeed where Omad failed. He sought to understand the eternal alchemy using ley line energy, but I will uncover the truth through mist energy.
No, Quaggan won't go in there.
We have no choice in the matter. Now, guards! Put the Quaggan in the machine.
Pula struggled and struggled, but the Inquest forced her into the chamber and sealed the door. Pula banged on the exit, but the machine's dull hum soon began to turn into a roar as the mist energy was drawn to it. The energy circled within the chamber all around Pula. Soon the energy converged, focusing directly into Pula, drawing more and more power, until eventually a burst of light filled the entire room, blinding everyone. Pula opened her eyes and found herself floating on an island surrounded by millions of other islands. She couldn't understand what she was seeing. It all went on for what seemed forever. She gazed in awe all around her at what appeared to be infinity, but then she heard a familiar howl. It was the wolf spirit. The spirit approached Pula and sat next to her.
What is this place?
The wolf spirit explained to Pula that she was seeing the one true source of the mist. It was here that millions of worlds and possibilities were formed before going out to find their place in reality. The modified machine had awakened a deep attunement to the mist within her, helping her consciousness travel there. Pula's village had been built on a concentrated hub of mist energy. All Quaggans from her village had a strong attunement to the mist like Pula. However, hers was the first to awaken in many, many years. The wolf continued that the demon of the mist had also discovered her village, and the risen crate that attacked it had actually been the demon's minions. The demon wanted to capture Pula's village so it could open a gateway for an invasion that would consume all of Teria in shadow. Pula was deeply conflicted. She had always been a simple Quaggan who loved swimming and singing and dancing. True, she had always wanted adventure, but this was sounding a little bit too dangerous. Suddenly, the world began to grow darker, and Pula heard a ferocious roar that seemed to echo all around her. Pula looked all around, trying to find the source, until she saw it. In the distance, a dark, figureless shadow could be seen closing in, darkening all it passed over.
Pula, you must be brave. The demon has grown too strong for me to face alone. You must look within yourself and return to the mist. We must all face this evil together, or all will be lost.
Back in the inquest lab, something was going terribly wrong. The machine's power levels were fluctuating rapidly, and the entire base power system was shorting out, causing catastrophic power failures throughout the entire inquest base.
Fools! Shut it down!
We can't. It's overloading everything. The other lab's containment systems are failing.
Initiate lockdown procedures Epsilon Omega 1. We're leaving now.
But what about the Quaggans?
Leave them. I have what I need. Let's go.
The inquest rushed out of the lab, leaving Pula alone as the entire room shook. The machine was reacting violently with arcs of energy shooting out from all directions before explosions began bursting from the walls of the lab as the power systems overloaded, followed by the entire base going completely dark and silent. Several minutes later, red emergency lighting came on. Every instrument in the lab was emitting flashing red lights reporting critical errors and warnings. Pula opened her eyes, woozy and disoriented by the experience, only to find a very worried Paddle kneeling down and checking in on her. Pula and Paddle were both relieved to have found one another. However, they still needed to escape, and do so quickly.
Ooh! Pula, wake up! Quaggans need to get out of here!
Paddle helped make sure Pula was okay before helping her up and walking with her towards the lab exit. Kind of convenient that they know where the exit is, but that's okay. Outside, they found the entire base blaring with red alarms and arcs of electricity shooting randomly from the various instruments.
The lab exit's one thing, the base exit is another.
Ah.
Critical system failure detected. Subject Omega containment system compromised. Epsilon Omega 1 lockdown initiated. All personnel, please proceed in an orderly fashion to evacuation dock C2 for immediate extraction.
The two Quaggans made their way from hallway to hallway, trying to find their way dodging inquest and security golems who were lost in the panic. However, something else was wrong. In the distance, a strange clanking sound could be heard echoing. Clank, clank, clank. The two Quaggans made their way from hall. Wait, am I repeating this?
Oh,
Ah.
you're good.
The two Quaggans made their way from hallway to hallway, trying to stay out of sight. Finally, Pula was snapping out of her daze. However, our two heroes turned a blind corner, only to be spotted by two security golems and their golemancers.
Ooh, what do we do?
The Inquis began to close in on our heroes, but then they all heard it. Clank, clank, clank! It was getting closer and faster. It was then that Subject Omega burst straight through the wall in front of our heroes. It threw the security golem's side as if it were a child's toy and scooped up the two golemancers and disappeared through another hallway. The halls echoed with the screams of the golemancers, followed by loud clanks and Subject Omera's horrifying screech.
What was that?
Ooh, something terrible.
Our two heroes slowly snuck through the base as Subject Omega's clanking could be heard echoing down each corridor. Clank, clank, clank. I feel like you're saying that. You're making me say clank, clank, clank.
So worth it.
They went slowly, staying as quiet as they could. The two Quaggans had never been so scared. On and on they crept until finally they saw it. A small hatch in the distance that read C2.
Here it is. Hey, look, there it is.
Pula quickly covered Paddle's mouth, but it was too late. They both looked over their shoulders to see Subject Omega behind them, its eyes glowing through the smoke and debris. Subject Omega's loud screech pierced their eardrums and began barreling toward them.
Oh no!
Run!
You should run.
Both Quaggans ran as fast as they could, with the Subject Omega close behind. Just before the twisted watchwork could catch our heroes, they managed to dive into the hatch and escape. They crawled as fast as they could until they seemed to be safe and came upon a small door. Both took a deep breath and opened the door, stepping through onto the dock of the evacuation bay. The Inquis leader was there, alone, desperately trying to activate the escape portal. Next to him was a large golem battlesuit with several large gashes across its center.
I never should have made that monstrosity turning on its own master. It will pay, just like all the others. Wait! What was that noise?
The leader turned around to see Pula and Paddle. Probably not what it expected.
You two, how did you get there? This escape port is for authorized inquest personnel only. All others will be exterminated.
The leader quickly leapt into his personal golem battlesuit. The suit powered up and unpacked to reveal an impressive arsenal of weaponry that was now pointing right towards our two heroes. Paddle panicked and began to run as the inquest leader let out a maniacal laugh and opened fire on him.
Waiting for maniacal laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
Battle ducked and covered his head in fear, expecting certain doom, but slowly realized nothing happened. He peeked his head up and saw Pula holding a force field of concentrated mist energy over him.
What nonsense is this? A Quaggan with superpowers? No matter. This time, I'll use full power.
The Omega Golem charged its weapons for a second barrage, but before he could fire, Subject Omega blasted straight through the wall and charged directly towards the Inquest leader's suit.
Abomination! You dare turn on your master again?
Inquest leader and Subject Omega became engaged in a brutal battle for survival as Pula tried desperately to maintain her force field. The two giants struggled in a clash of steel that shook the entire room. Everything was falling and the explosions were getting more and more violent.
Critical power core failure detected. Core breach imminent. Eventuality protocol CP-16 initiated. Self-destruct sequence activating.
Amidst the chaos, the emergency portal suddenly activated. Hula and Paddle looked on and let out a delighted squeal. I would say they set out a delighted coo as Captain Floppy and Margie emerged from the portal calling out for their lost friends. This was their chance. Our two Quaggan heroes dashed towards the portal as fast as their little Quaggan legs could carry them.
No! You won't escape!
The Inquest leader turned, intending to fire all of his weapons towards the fleeing Quaggans, only to be struck down by Subject Omega. His suit crashed to the ground, and a small data module rolled out from it. The captain eyed the module with great curiosity, while both Quaggans leapt into Margie's arms.
Margie!
Margie! Margie!
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank Wolf, you're both safe. Let's go.
Go on, I'll be right behind you.
Margie and the Quaggans both stepped through the portal to safety while Floppy stayed behind. He had to get that module. The captain drove towards the device and snatched it up, only to look up and see Subject Omega towering over him, roaring in his face. Before the beast could strike the captain, the captain threw a smoke bomb to the floor and disappeared. As the beast ripped and tore the ground through the smoke, the captain raced to the portal, taking one look back at Subject Omega before stepping through the portal, with it closing behind him. Subject Omega stood in the center of the room, screeching in rage as the self-destruct protocol began, and the room was consumed with fire and collapse, burying the monster with it. Our heroes have escaped, and Subject Omega and the Inquest base is destroyed. However, what is this new power that Pula has? Will she be able to defeat the demon and save Tyria? And what was on the data module that Captain Floppy recovered? Find out next time in Quaggan Adventure Saga Episode 4, A New Danger.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Man, that performance of that Inquest leader was pretty good, right?
Was mediocre at best.
We'll be having awards at the end of the year for the best acting.
Okay, if we do awards, Strackle wins them all. Sorry, guys. Quaggan Storytime wouldn't be happening without Strackle's awesome narration, and Simba will definitely
Best
earn
director.
Writer of the Year.
Best director.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I need to speak to the director or the producer because why is Strauchel getting more lines than me?
Not fair.
You haven't proved your worth yet.
I think me and Queen get best supporting actresses.
We're the main character.
You guys are the main. You guys are not the.
How we get supporting roles?
Well, the narrator would
I
be
mean-
one of the main characters. Cause
I mean,
really.
Jarissa might get like best supporting female lead in a role, and then we got Queen that might be best lead female lead.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I
And then
don't
of
know,
course
I
Inquest leader,
Wolf.
best
Strauchel's
supporting
Wolf is still the
evil.
scariest.
I'm sorry, the Inquest leader needs to work on his evil laugh.
I didn't know I was supposed to laugh. That wasn't in the script.
Yes, it was.
And next time we have clanking.
Out of the script I was given.
Let's talk about this clanking. I think next time Draco should be prepared with a pot and a pan or something, or a spoon and a pan.
Clank,
It's supposed to be
Clank.
a menacing clank,
User disconnected from
clank,
Clank.
like a monster clanking through the hall.
clank.
I don't remember that in the script.
we need Foley artists for sure.
Oh man.
That was good.
I don't know, I died of laughter when in Say Chat when Mira was just like, Mouse is gonna be disappointed if he thinks Queen can be controlled.
I know, right?
In the end, he just ends up giving her superpowers.
Damn it.
Good times, good times.
Once again, thank you for taking the time to write Quaggan Storytime, Simba.
Yes.
Always fun.
Always fun.
Yep, good job. That was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Now I get to work on part 4.
Yes.
They're gonna be Inquest leader in that one.
No, he's dead. Remember?
Damn it!
We'll find a spot for you.
The sad part.
Maybe
It was
Faust
sad
could
when
be
he
in
died in
charge
the
of
end.
the clinky noises.
Clank.
Nope,
Clank.
Ghost Inquest leader.